Today is about the power of you. You will change the world.
You're listening to the Chronicles of Living podcast.
Do the damn thing.
Where we talk to visionary dreamers like you about living their best life.
Fulfill the highest, truest expression of yourself.
It's time to step into the past, present, and future with an open and healthy mind. Let's go! Now let's talk.
Greetings, my visionary dreamers. How is everybody doing on Let's Talk Sunday? I love you guys. I just want to say that right off the back. I love you guys. If no one has told you that they love you in a while, I just want to say it. I just felt led to say it. I love you. Even though you can't see me, can't touch me, I can't hug you, I can't fist pump you and all that good stuff. I love you, okay? And I want you to look in the mirror and tell yourself that you love you. If no one else has told you lately, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. Not me, but I love you because you're looking at you, okay? I don't know. I was just led to say that. So without further ado, this is ADionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, the world, some real bull. And you are listening to Chronicles of Livin podcast show, the show for everyday people doing everyday things, living everyday life. Whew, I had to swallow. It's extraordinary, folk. Doing the damn thing the best way we can. And guys, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I mean, I think energy wise, it's just a lot of folk out there, going through what's going on in this time that maybe you're just starting to realize certain people that you thought would be there for you and they're not in these tough times. I don't know where it's coming from, but that's what Spirit just said. I'm going to get to the title, please. Self-programming, positive versus negative. I didn't even get a chance to. Anyway, this title came about in a couple of ways. It was a conversation that I had maybe a couple of weeks ago with a few of my new tribe members, and also I had a conversation with my cousin brother. I call him my cousin brother that lives out here with me in Georgia. Not with me, but we both live out here in Georgia. And we had a conversation today. So to the newcomers out there, I'm so sorry. I don't know. Spirit just want me to go in. But to the newcomers that's listening for the first time, thank you. And to my veterans, thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all are why I do this. And this show is just about us figuring out different ways to work around the challenges, jump over those obstacles and figure out how we can become better versions of ourselves. That's what the show is about. I talk about conversations. I talk about my life, things I've seen, things I've read, and so forth. So that's what this show is about. So self-programming, positive versus negative. So in other words, programming, that's something that we should all know. I wanted to look up the definition. I didn't have time. But programming is something that it's just like this perfect example. And I'll use this as a positive and negative sense. The songs that you hear on the radio or that you listen to on different platforms. And you listen to them over and over again. And before you know it, they're programmed in your head. And it could be a song from way back in the day. It could be a song that you used to hear as a kid. You could have been like 3, 5 years old, whatever. But your parents or whoever you lived with used to play those songs back in the day. And you could be doing something and all of a sudden that song just comes to your mind. And even though it might be a song that's not even played on the radio anymore, but it's programmed in your head because you used to hear your mom play it over and over again when she used to clean the house. You know what I'm saying? Or either, when you became older, when you got into your first relationships, and you might have listened to sad songs or happy songs, and certain songs might come on now that you're older and you're not even with that person anymore, but that song can remind you of a moment with that person or at that party, or and it could be good or bad. That is a form of programming. And that's deep. I mean, I know that we don't even think about that. And that just kind of came out. It came from, but it is a good example. That is a good example, because I know that I'm not the only one that goes through that. And sometimes I could just wake up in the morning and certain songs would just be playing in my head, and they could be really old songs. But these are things that's programmed in us, within our mind and our spirit and our soul, is all intertwined. So this is why it's very important, of course, when you hear certain songs and you can remember back in the day when it was a happy time in your life and those songs come on, you could be in the worst mood or you can be having a bad day, but that song can come on and then all of a sudden you just start smiling out of nowhere. You just start cheesing, and you could just be driving in a car or something and somebody look at you like, what's wrong with that person? You're looking real crazy, but you're just remembering the feeling of that moment that song played in that place with that person while you was doing that thing or whatever it was, while you was working that certain job that might have been fun when you were young, or in school. And you was hanging out with your homeboys or homegirls, you remember those good moments. But also, those programs can be negative when you reminisce on bad things as well. You get what I'm saying? So see how they could play out. It could play out in two different ways. A song could be on when you was going through a bad time. It could have been playing distantly. It might not have been playing in your house, but it could have been your neighbor playing it and you heard it while you was going through something that was bad, or just a dark moment in your life. So I say all of that to say and to explain to you, to just get you in the mind frame of where I'm going with this. A conversation that I had with my new tribe, I was telling them how, if you ever think about this, and I've talked about this with a few of my loved ones before. And if you ever think about, you have people that go to sleep with the TV on, you have people that go to sleep with the radio on. And they feel like they just can't go to sleep without that TV or without that radio on. But check out this. Do you realize that your brain is still working? Your brain is not shutting off, although you're supposed to allow your brain to shut off. But as long as it's still being stimulated by something, it's not at rest. You get what I'm saying? So this is why we believe that we're sleeping when we go to sleep. But if you have that TV or that radio on or some type of something that's stimulating your brain, you're not resting. You're asleep, but you're not resting. You see the difference? Because your brain is still working while you're asleep, while your eyes are closed and your body is just still. But you're not resting. So this is why sometimes you could wake up in the morning and be a little groggy. If you are a person that go to sleep with the radio or the TV on, you could be a little groggy because you didn't really get your proper rest. You didn't allow your body to reset itself. Just like a computer. You think about a computer, that's how our brain is. We have to, or your cell phone, your smartphone, you got to reset it every now and then, because if you keep it on, then it start acting crazy. And then sometimes you reset it and then it's like as if it wasn't acting crazy. So imagine us. We're on 24/7. If you're going to sleep with the TV and with the radio on, you're literally just up 24 hours a day. Your brain is working 24 hours a day. And then you wonder why you wake up in the morning and you got brain fog. You just like discombobulated. You can't think straight. All of these thoughts are running through your head. And sometimes, as one of my tribe members, where we were talking, and she was saying how she could remember going to sleep to some movie or something, and literally, I think that she was in the movie or something like that. And so this is why you got to be careful, because if you're going to sleep to something that's negative, or you just have a station on and you don't know what the next show is coming on and it's something negative, then you don't realize how you're programming your mindset and your spirit to pick up that negative type of energy. You're going to sleep to, an action movie or something like that. Your brain is computing all of that. You get what I'm saying? But on the other hand, if you're going to sleep to something positive, like for me, I go to sleep to, frequencies, sound frequencies and affirmations to affirm me and affirm that I'm good and I'm going to have a good day and things of that nature. And then I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, I got, these good ideas and things of that nature, So even though my brain is still working, the sound frequencies, depending on what type of frequency you're listening to, it is helping your brain to expand. It's helping your conscious to expand in a good way, So this is why I have, positive versus negative. Like, what are you, aiming for? You want to be this positive person, or you want to look at a situation that maybe you're in or you're going through or whatever like that in a positive way, but yet you're going to sleep to a damn action flick where they shooting up the whole damn town. And then you wonder why you in a bad mood. You ready to punch somebody upside the head when you see them at work. Soon as they come out their mouth the wrong way, you just can't be in that Musa. It's just not working for you. So that's one way. Okay, dealing with the television. Y'all dig that word? Television. Tell a lie to your vision program. See how that is broken down? And we don't even realize it. You got to start looking at words, guys. Words are so powerful, not just the way we say it, not just the tone we say it in, but how it's written out, how it's spelled out. When you start breaking words down, remember when we was in school and the teacher would teach us how to put the word together and how to break it up into, the whole sections and everything so that you can sound it out. And you can, and even now as adults, there are words that we don't use on an everyday basis, and you can catch it. I know I do. I catch myself. I can admit it. Sounding that word out, because I'm like, what the hell? What is that word? So, and I might take a moment to sound it out, but as you're sounding it out, you don't even realize what you're saying. Every part of that word has a certain meaning. So this is why I tell people when they talk about, oh, did you see the show? I'm like, I don't watch TV. I don't watch television. I might watch, I watch Netflix or whatever, and I pick and choose what I want to watch. I don't allow the television to program me. I watch what I want to watch to program what I want to program within me to gain whatever knowledge or whatever laughs or whatever, I want to receive within me. Now that I'm clear on what programming is all about. Of course, there was a time not so long ago that I was not clear on what programming was about. And when I think about that time in my life and those years of my life, I think about how I reacted to certain things, to certain people, and I'm still work in progress as everyone is. You know what I mean? As I always say, when I make these topics, I don't make them just for you. I make them for me too. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to be honest, I don't make them. I literally don't make these topics. They just come to me and I write them down. Sometimes I store them away until it's time, like the self-programming. I looked at my phone and it was already on my list. But that negative versus positive is something that Spirit had put on me to add in there. You get what I'm saying? And when it came to me, when I had it written down, it came to me. You get what I'm saying? I just come on here and go with the flow, guys. So I know that these messages are meant for me just as well as they are meant for you, for us to start being aware of certain things as we go through life, so that we can become the best version of ourselves. So we can, catch ourselves slipping, into the negative programming. So now I'm going to come from another angle of programming. The negative versus the positive. I talk a lot on the podcast about, your surroundings, your upbringings and your new tribes and things of that nature. And what's being said, what are y'all talking about? What's being said to each other? How are you affirming each other? How are you downplaying each other? Things of that nature. You can have, if you were young, I see this a lot of times, I hate to say it, every now and then, I can meet people, whatever like that. But on a positive and on a negative, sometimes people, when they're young, they might have grown up in a household that wasn't as positive. Let's say it that way. Wasn't as loving. Rather it was their mother, their brother, the sister, the cousin, whoever, or it could have been just a guardian. I can remember, and I share sometimes about my foster kids. I can remember when I had foster kids, and they would fight all the time. They would fight. 3 brothers. They would fight all the time, and of course, I got them to a point. God blessed me to help me to get them to a point. And it was, for me, it really was helping me as well to grow my patience. I'm trying to tell you, they test my patience. But I realized that they grew up in a negative, I'm not going to say so much negative, but they didn't have the love and attention and affection that they needed to grow into the best versions of themselves at that point in their lives. I'll say it that way. And so all they knew was to fight each other for whatever it is that they wanted. They were programmed in that sense because that's what they were used to. But then when they came to me, I had to learn them and they had to learn me. So we both had to learn each other's program, They had to learn how my setting, my program was, how I ran my household, how, my son and all of that whole bit, how we interacted with each other. And they had to observe that. And to them, it was weird. It was weird. I can remember dropping them off at school, and I used to do this. I would drop my son off first and then drop them off. But this was something that I always did with my son from the time he was going to school. Before he went in the building, we would stop and we would hold hands and we would pray and we would wish each other a great day. That was like, it was programmed. It was programmed. It was like nonstop. Okay. So when they first witnessed that, they were laughing. They were laughing and they thought that like it was funny because to them that was weird. That was weird. As crazy as that sounds to some people, that was weird to them because their program was so negative that they didn't know what affection was. They didn't know what positivity was. And so by the time, so I had to explain it to them. I explained my program to them. I explained my positive program to them and why it is that we pray and we wish each other and we bless each other to have a great day. You know what I mean? And once I sat and I explained it to them and I allowed them to, as I dropped them off, to take turns and say the prayer, it got to the point that it became their new program. And they started saying to me, wait. They know me by Miss April. Miss April, we didn't pray. And they were like 8 and 11 at the time. We didn't pray in 13. So I was like, when they started doing that, my heart just melted. And then I taught them how to pray to God. They had never prayed to God, but I was programmed from a young child. My grandmother taught me and my cousins how to pray at the bedside, how to get up in the morning and just thank God for being alive and being thankful for life and being thankful for the small things and making sure you cover yourself before you go to sleep and you pray to God before you go to sleep. So that was another program that I was able to share with them and instill in them before they left my house. And the biggest thing that I was able to help them reprogram about themselves is respect. Self-respect for themselves and self-respect for each other. So it was a time where I had to take them there every week to go visit their mom, their dad. And it was a moment that I realized that respect for each other kicked in because they were on the porch and their dad was standing there and they had a little disagreement. And then one of the brothers was like, "You know what, brother? You can have it. It's okay. You can have it. It's okay." And then the other brother was like, "Thank you." And their own father, looked at them like so weird. Like, what the hell? What's going on? It was like, oh my God, wait a minute. Did they just say thank you to each other? Here was their father, the hierarchy, that the influencer. And this is what I'm saying. I said that whole story to tell you that sometimes it could be the ones that brought you up, and because they were programmed in a certain way, they maybe not have known any better than the way they brought you up. Now you became a part of their program in a negative way. You get what I'm saying? And so then you go on as an adult, and if you never witness or you never become a part of somebody's positive, not somebody, but you never learn for yourself. Let's say that. But they were young kids. So therefore they had to, whatever environment they were in was the program that they picked up. You hear what I'm saying? I could remember one of the kids telling me, the 11-year-old telling me one day before they left and the state moved them or whatever, we had a conversation and he said to me, "Well, Miss April, when we go, whatever, we're just going to wind up being bad again and this and that and the other." And I'm like, wow, what makes you feel like you want to be bad? And his response was that, well, they're going to wind up kicking us out anyway, or they're going to wind up. I said, but why would you? I said, listen, you have learned a lot here. Utilize that. I rewarded them when they were good. We had points. I took them out. We had a whole scoreboard and all of that stuff. So I said, take that and realize that you be good for you. You don't have to worry about being good for other people. Be good for you, because everybody's always watching and you never know who will see you being good to you and you being good to other people and will help you in some type of way. You just don't know. And I teach that to my son all the time. Always be at your best wherever you go, because you don't know who's watching. You don't know who can help you down the line. You might come across somebody later on in life that remember you and remember how respectful you are to how how respectful you are to yourself and how respectful you were to them. And later on down the line, years and years later, you never know. They might be able to help you out in some type of way to get ahead. Or you might come across them and you might be able to help them. So this is why it's so important, guys, that we got to watch. We have to watch what we listen to, who we around, how we talk, how we, just how we live in our lives. Because you never know. And you can get stuck in that and you can just talk yourself out of great opportunities. So that's the other, I'm going to hit on this note and maybe take it out with this. That's the other end of the self-programming, as far as positive and negative. So I was talking to my cousin earlier, and we both Pisces. So we both just be trying to do the most. But we both share the messages that we get with each other. Like if I get a message for him, I'll call him, and vice versa. And so he got a message for me today. And because we're Pisces, we like to fight sometimes the message or whatever, every now and then, even though we give it to each other. But, when he called me, he had confirmed a few things that me and my son had talked about earlier, as far as, having so much going on, the podcast, the TV, the books, and things of that nature. And, my son was just like, look, we just got to start promoting different things and, just pull back on some things. And so my cousin was saying the same thing. He was like, you need to just focus. You don't need to create anything else. And, you got so much going on. You have so much content. That's what he said. You have so much content. And, I know you don't really care for the whole social media thing, but I was like, I know I'm working on it. And so I created, if you don't know, I created this self-accountability 30-day challenge on my YouTube channel. And it's just small little videos, little 2-3 minute videos, max is maybe like 4 or 5. And every little video is touching on something that I believe we all can relate to. I truly believe it, because it's something that I can relate to. And so that's why I created them. And it serves as a couple purposes. It serves as a purpose of me making sure that I get on social media some type of way. Now, I'm not all crazy with it, but hey, I'm taking baby steps. Okay? And I'm holding myself accountable, and I'm uploading them every day. And I was sending them to everybody, as far as my cell phone, but I was like, I don't want to bombard everybody text. If they really want to watch it, they can just go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell on the YouTube channel. But now I realize that I am so programmed to do the most. I am so programmed to do the most. I don't know if it's the only child syndrome from my mom, because I have 2 brothers from my dad, but I don't know what it is, but I believe that, I just want to be the best. And I believe we all want that for ourselves. And even if we're not moving in that way, I believe deep down inside, we all want to be the best. We all want to be the best version of ourselves. That's what I mean. We want to be the best versions of ourselves. Anything that I've ever gotten involved in, I made sure that I worked very hard at having some type of mastery with it, having some type of mastery with it. I might not have been the top of the class, but when I was in school, I made sure I was on honor roll until I fell off in high school. I really did. But in high school, even though I fell off as far as the honor roll, I was working hard at being the best. I was into music, and I was into, dance and things of that nature. And I constantly challenged myself to be the best. Whenever I got a new job, I wanted to learn so much about that job, about that occupation. Even if I knew it was going to be a temporary thing, I always like to learn all the moving parts, so that this way, somewhere down the line, if I ever have to do that again, or even like now, I'm able to teach a lot of the things that I've learned, a lot of the information that I've read, and I'm able to help so many people because of it, But it can become dangerous when you are absorbing so much information from day to day to day to day, because you get to a point that you be like, okay, wait a minute. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do the other? But yet I'm a sponge. It's like, that is my addiction. People are addicted to things that can kill them. No, I'm addicted to information. That's real nerdy, but I'm addicted to information. And I realized that about myself. And I believe that I've curved back a lot. I have a son that he be on me. Him and then my cousin, they both be on me. And I have a friend too that be on me as well. So it's like, I realized, like, I'm telling my cousin, I'm like, I'm listening, even though, seems like I'm listening to you, and we're going to do this, and you're going to help me, and I tell my son, you're going to help me to curve it all down so that I can know, okay, how I can be consistent on this whole social media thing and reprogram myself to just let go of doing the most and working with what I have right now. It's just that I just want to give y'all, I just want to share so much of what I've learned throughout the years. And I think that's what it is. My love of sharing information and sharing the knowledge that I gained. And the crazy part is the knowledge that I've gained throughout the years all came from me. I'm not going to say being in survival mode, but I got to say it in that way because my life was just so, I don't know, it just was always going. And I always, because I moved so much. Oh my gosh, my stomach. I'm sorry, y'all. And because I moved so many times in my life, and from those moves, I wound up having to get different jobs in the different sections that I might have moved in. Maybe the job that I had before, it didn't call for that type of job. So I wound up getting a new type of job and learning a new skill set and learning new information, and then in meeting people, learning information from them through conversation. And then that's how it goes. And I believe that this is the reason why I always feel like I want to give so much more. I make sure that I don't want to be mediocre. Let's say that. I don't want to be mediocre with sharing with people information and knowledge that I've learned. And I believe the reason why is because there were times when I didn't have the finances to pay for that information, or to pay to, for someone to do a certain thing for me, like edit my video or shoot my video or make my website and things of that nature. And so that drove me on the path of, I want this done. So I have to learn it for myself, because right now I don't have no $5,000. I don't have, $1,000 to just be paying somebody to do this. Right now I got to take care of home. I got to take care of my bills or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So that's what sent me on that path. And so now it's a habit of mine. It's a habit. Anything that I want to get into, anything that I envision, there I go. I'm on the path. I'm reading some books. I'm watching some tutorials. And now I created a monster because my son is just like me. Once we discuss a certain thing, be like, all right, Mom, I'm gonna research it. we're on steroids when it comes to researching. But I learned it from my grandpa. He programmed that in me. This is what I'm saying about the positive and the negative. That was a positive thing that he programmed in me. He programmed to research anything that you want to learn. He programmed to, back in the day we had encyclopedias. Now we just got Google or, Bing and Yahoo or whatever, search. The easy way. But no, he programmed in us to grab the encyclopedia, look up what it is that you need to know, and he would make us sit on the couch with him and go through it. And we'd be on that couch for hours. You just want one question, Grandpa. You know the information. Can you just give it to me? No. Go grab that Encyclopedia EF and bring it on over here. And I'm so grateful. To him that he taught me that at such a young age, and he was consistent with it. That's the key. That's a part of that programming. Because he was consistent with it, he programmed it in me And then when I had my son, I was able to program that in him at a very young age. And by then it was Google search. So I'm like, search it up. Don't ask me the question. Search it up. He only like what, 7, 8. I'm like, did you search it up yet? I taught him how to put the keywords in, how to ask the question, how to keep asking it in different ways. And now, shoot, he be putting it back on me. Mom, did you search it up yet? You know how to do that. No, I'm not going to help you. Like, boy, you got a whole degree in this computer science now. You could help me out with this. I know I can figure it out, but please let me take the shortcut. I gave it to you. So guys, we just got to be careful of what it is that we are allowing to become a program in our mind, allowing to become a program that maybe is holding us back from becoming the best version of ourselves, or that is telling us lies, that is keeping the lies playing like a broken record, like a scratch record over and over again. That moment that you might have went through that you just felt like was the worst moment in your life. But yet, in some way, you keep allowing that program to repeat itself. You keep allowing that program to replay itself and tell yourself that, okay, this is going to happen again, or, that I'm not worthy because they told me that I wasn't worthy, or, no one loves me because I've never experienced that before. And so now you think that you can never have love, real, genuine love. You get what I'm saying? There is a difference between us telling each other, I love you, and I love you. It's a difference in love and what type of love. You got your friendship love. You got your intimate love. You got your affectionate love. You got your unconditional love. There are so many ways to express love and to receive love. And sometimes because we've never even received the love, I don't know why I'm still on this. This is for somebody, obviously. Sometimes if you never received love, if that's your program today, if you never really felt like you received true love, true unconditional love or affection that you felt you needed, not that people gave you, but that you felt that you needed, it's time to let that old program go. It's time to let that old program go, because if you continue to play that program, guess what? You will never, ever in life receive the love that you believe you should receive and that you can receive. Why? Because you are subconsciously blocking it. Rather it's through self-sabotage, or rather it's through pushing people away, and you might not even realize it. That's the thing. That's the dangerous part about it. Sometimes we do things because we're so programmed to reacting in a certain way that we don't realize we're sabotaging our own self or relationships, not just relationships with in an intimate way, but relationships with people, with family, with friends, because we're so programmed that maybe you were abandoned, or maybe just like my foster kids, they felt like nobody really cared about them until they met me. I don't know what happened after that. I was able to keep in contact with them for a while through their school, but then after that, and they learned a lot. And I spoke as much words of love and affection. I gave them hugs. Even though we're not supposed to do that, but I did it. I made sure that they felt loved while they was in my household. I punished them when they was on the negative, and when they was positive, I made sure that they reaped the rewards of that so they could know the difference. You get what I'm saying? But some people never come across that. And then we grow up to be these adults. And we have these programs, these negative programs in our mindset, in our spirit, in our soul. And we don't know how to release it. So a lot of times, it's not our fault. Sometimes. But sometimes you can have people in your life that want to show you different, that want to give you different, that want to give you genuine love and affection and attention. And you want to keep ignoring it, or you want to keep reaching for something else, or you just you just self-sabotage in some type of way. All because maybe this was spirit bringing. Maybe you fearful. Maybe you fearful of the letdown. Maybe you fearful of the disappointment. Maybe you fearful that when you open yourself up to love, that and you want to go with the new program, maybe you feel like it's just you're gonna get hurt. I don't know. Only you know this, or maybe you don't know it. But because God and Spirit is just on me so much, it opened it up with it. Somebody out there need to get rid of that program that of feeling not loved. Somebody out there, or maybe a few, or maybe the whole doggone people, everybody that's listening, y'all need to go to the mirror every freaking day, throughout the day, whenever you feel like you don't feel loved, and stop looking for love in the wrong places, as they say. If you are fighting, not fighting physically, but mentally or spiritually or whatever, to receive love from someone that don't even know how to give it to you, you need to cut that part of you need to shut that part of your program down and move on and be around people that do love you genuinely, not because of what you have, not because of your popularity, not because of what you could do for them. None of that. No, they just love you. Whether you got crusty nose, whether you're funky, they just love you. You for you. We get caught up in loving, and especially with the social media stuff, you know what I mean? And loving people because of their popularity, or you thinking you loving people, but you really just infatuated or whatever like that. There is a difference. There is a difference. Look up the definitions, okay? But when you have people that genuinely love you in your life, and I don't know why this is, but it just seems like a lot of times we take for granted the people that really, and I've done that before. You take for, I'm not in a real bad sense, but maybe you might neglect them in a way because you feel like, okay, they get you, they good, they get you, okay. So sometimes we could take that for granted, and you can try to pour yourself more into the people that don't really give a two flip about you deep down inside. Deep down inside, they don't give a two flips about you. But for some reason, you just feel like you got to prove yourself to them. And that's all what low self-esteem is about. I'm here to tell you. I had to learn that for myself years and years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to need y'all to learn that lesson today, because Spirit just was pushing that whole stop the program that no one loves you. Because at the end of the day, God loves you. The universe loves you. And when you start loving yourself, you will be surprised as to what you will attract to yourself. The people, the situations, the things. And you're going to start feeling loved. You're going to start feeling so loved. That is the mission. That's the conversation today. Somebody out there, I wish I knew who it was, because God darn, y'all just took up the show. But it's all good, because I think we all need that message. And I still need to remember that too. I affirm myself every day, every morning, to keep my energy in this way. So whenever I'm going through something that might be down or might not go my way, I say, it's all good. It's all good, ADionne. You did your best. It's a good job. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't meant. Something else is meant in a different way, or whatever. You got to start looking at things in that way, guys. You got to start looking at, sometimes God will not allow a certain person to love you, or a certain situation to happen where you feel like that can help you out or help you get out of your program, because there are lessons to learn. And until we learn those lessons, the same program is going to keep playing over and over again in a different way, through a different person, through a different situation, until you learn how to release that program that does not benefit you anymore. There it is. That's it, guys. So learn, work with yourself, okay? Work with yourself. Write down the programs that you know. Now that we went through, well, I went through, Spirit went through. Yeah, we went through the different types of programs that you could pick up throughout the years in your life, from a small kid to now, where you are right now. I'm going to need y'all to, when you finish this podcast show, try to do it today. Please try to do it today. This is a new moon today. Setting new intentions, new moon, new intentions for your life, for yourself, okay? Write down the programs that you know you've been replaying, that don't benefit you anymore in your life, that don't serve you. Whatever that program is, whether it's a people, place, or thing, you know what I mean? Or whether it's all of it. Write it down. And make sure, once you write it down, you look at it, you read it out loud, and you say the opposite. You say the opposite of what you wrote down. If I see mothers call their kids stupid, you dummy, you stupid, I'd be wanting to just punch them upside their head so bad you just don't know. I'd be like, get yourself together, ADionne. You don't want to be on the news. You don't want to be in jail. But they don't realize they're programming their kids to think that they're dumb and they're stupid. So if that was you, then you say the opposite. No, I'm smart. I'm intelligent. I'm a genius. You get what I'm saying? You say the opposite to yourself. You ball that paper up, you tear it up, you put it in, and then don't start no fires, y'all. Don't start no fires. But put it in a bowl somewhere outside or whatever. Burn it. Burn it. After you say the opposite. And you continue to say the opposite every day. Continue to love on yourself, guys. That's what it's all about. When we start loving on ourselves, there'll be more love in this world. Trust and believe, especially in these times. Love on yourself, and then you will attract the love that you always wanted from people and things. So stop self-sabotaging and allow God and the universe to bless you. That's the message today, guys. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a long one. I don't know where they be coming from with all these words. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you received a lot out of this podcast show. And you go ahead and go on the YouTube channel, Chronicles of Livin. You got the TV shows are there. I just posted episode 5. And, join in the self-accountability challenge. Join in that. Watch those videos, but you got to subscribe and you got to hit the notification bell so that you can know when I upload them. Because I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to keep sending these links, y'all. But anyway, I will talk to y'all next Sunday, okay? I love you guys. Thank you for all of your support. Make sure you follow, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff on whatever platform you listen to, whatever you look at that I do, whatever, okay? Share it and give it to somebody else that really could use this message. You never know, all right? So, till next Sunday, guys, I love you, my visionary dreamers. This is ADionne, your dream pusher, your lifeguard, saving you from yourself, the world, some real bullshit. And you are listening to Chronicles of Livin podcast show. Peace.
The Chronicles of Livin.
We can be whatever we dream.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Chronicles of Livin podcast, where you find only the highest vibrations. Remember, you are extraordinary. And if you're pursuing your dreams, we're proud of you. Because the best part of life is when you decide to live.
Something better is always possible if you're willing to work for it and fight for it.
Stay updated with ADionne by visiting chroniclesoflivin.com or stay connected through social media by following @Chronicles of Livin. Until next time, your dream pusher, ADionne.